Thanks for joining us once again. Now, law lecturer at the University of Ghana School of Law, Dr. Abdul Basit Bamba, is demanding the revocation of the law creating the Oti region. He has cited the Electoral Commission and President Akufo-Addo for constitutional violations and blunders in the creation, saying a constituency can now be found in 2 regions. The Oti region was carved out of the existing Volta region in 2018 after a referendum in the area had received massive endorsement. Dr. Bamba, in his article, says the exercise may have been one in futility. My colleague Joseph Akable joins me in studio with details of an article authored by Dr. Bamba. Now, Joseph, explain how Dr. Bamba concludes that the constituency now falls in 2 regions.
And so he first quotes Article 47(2) of the Constitution, and that states that no constituency shall fall within more than 1 region. He then explains that the Commission of Inquiry that assessed the extent of interest in the creation of Oti region indicated that it should comprise the Biakoye, Jasikain, Krachi West, Kajebi districts, in Nkwanta North and South municipalities, and Santrofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi traditional areas. Some of these areas, he states, by virtue of a 2012 constitutional instrument, fell within the Hohoi constituency of the Volta region. He concludes that by the inclusion of these traditional areas in the Oti region, it now means that the Hohoi constituency straddles or falls within Oti and Volta regions, which is in a breach of the 1992 constitution, for which reason he says it amounts to a violation and blunder by virtue of the EC proceeding to confirm, carry out a referendum in those areas, and again proceeding to have the president sign the law that created those 2 regions.
And how does he, recommend that this resolution is done in terms of the legal blunder he speaks about?
And so the first step, he says, is that the president must revoke the Oti region instrument, that is 2019 constitutional instrument 112. The second is that he wants the entire process restarted to create the region once again. And so that must now again start from a commission that must be set up to go around and solicit the views of the people from those areas and make a recommendation as to where the referendum, whether there's a huge demand and a referendum should take place or not, after which a referendum will be held. Parliament, it goes to Parliament, then the presidency once again signs it. And so he wants all the activities that led to the creation of Oti region should be done again.
Thank you very much, my colleague Joseph Akable, joining me in studio with details of that. Let's do some other stories now. In the Ghana Football Association's decision to dissolve the national teams is creating a lot of controversy, and now we have Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, who is an administrator of football, says the latest decision by the sports governing body to dissolve the coaches and technical staff of the national teams as a step in the right direction for development of sports. Now, following the expiration of Kwesi Appiah's contract at the end of December 2019, all eyes were on Ghana Football Association for their next move. In a startling decision, the country's football governing body has relieved not just the 59-year-old coach, but all other technical staff of every single national team at their posts. Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo believes the decision is in the best interest of the country's sports.
No, you see, Kwesi Appiah, the problem with him that I noticed earlier on is that he might probably have all the experience and technical know-how, but he hasn't got that leadership skills. You see, he's a leader, and the leader must be said to be a leader. He hasn't got the charisma, he can't command. And then if you're a leader, you can't command. You must as well lead the state. You follow me?
Yeah.
So we see day in and day out whenever the boys are having, tournaments. That sort of command positions cannot be seen at all. But I think recently we saw what's the name of this boss, this other coach, assisting him, and you see the command position of that other CPA boy is more profound. And that question was just there, and I think that is number one problem. So if you are not born a leader, you can never lead, no matter what you do.
Right.
That is the biggest problem he had and he still has. Well, it's been there for more than 4 years, and if he has those leadership qualities, we should have seen it by now.
Right.
Well, I have seen, what do you call it, quite a number of coaches, but they all have their different approach. That coaches one is a bit of a worry to me. That's the other thing I'll say. I don't have anyone in mind, but I think I would like to caution the ethics if they are thinking about taking another course. Now, I have seen somewhere on the net that they are thinking of technical assistance from FIFA. They should stop it. They should put a stop to it immediately. Well, that will not help. That will not help at all. Now, I say that because once again, it brings my mind back to how African leaders run their government. The same scenario. You have a problem when African leaders have economic problems with their various governments. And what they do eventually is to resort to this so-called IMF to solve their problem. The IMF can never solve this problem.
Well, it will be recalled at the last media encounter with President Akufo-Addo, Patrick Agyemang alias Songo of Fire for Fire fame on Adom TV inquired of the president if Kwesi Appiah's contract will be renewed. Difficult as the response to the question was for President Akufo-Addo, Songo said his anticipation of his sack for Kwesi Appiah inspired his questioning at the time.
I took it in a different way. I mean, whether he has to say yes or no. I mean, he's the president. I mean, he wouldn't want to stand on one side and somebody would say that maybe he has taken side. Fantastic. He wanted to be neutral. At the end of the day, he says the FA, they are in charge and they should take the decision. And now the decision is out. That the coach can't continue to coach us again, or they dissolve all the various national teams. But I believe that it was just a matter of, time. And it has happened. So Kwesi Appiah is no more there. We need a new coach. That's all. And for me, Kwesi Appiah is not the best for Ghana for now. Kwesi Appiah, he has done little for Ghana Blaster. We've given him a lot of chance to coach the national team, and we have seen nothing. You understand? A coach who tells me that he doesn't believe in formation tactics. So how do you coach the team? What formation, what direction are you taking us? And we want to win trophies. Blasters is all about winning trophies. We qualify almost all the time, very, very easy going for AFCON. But when we go there, we are one of the favorite countries. And we should be able to get a coach who can instill discipline in Blasters, who can bring on board players that can go tournaments like AFCON and win it for us.
Now, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust (SNIT) has increased monthly pensions payment to 11% in 2020. The state pensions manager, in a statement, indicated that the new increment was done in consultation with the National Pensions Regulatory Authority (NPRA) and in accordance with Section 80 of the National Pensions Act 2008, indexed monthly pensions for the year 2020. According to SNIT, the approved overall indexation rate of 11% for 2020 is higher than the forecast inflation rate of 8.0 for 2020. The overall indexation amount was redistributed at a fixed rate of 6.6% and a flat amount of 37.38 cedis for all pensioners on the SNIT pensions payroll as at 31st December 2019. With this redistribution, lowest earning pensioners will get an effective increase of 19.06%. Head of Corporate Affairs, Ifia Amankwa Sakode, explains further.
We find that on our pension payroll, there are quite a number of people, well, not so many, who are on the high end. And this, in percentage terms, this would be about 0.14%. And those are on the high end. And by high end, I mean those who are earning 20, 30, 40, 50,000 even. And those people will get an increase of between, say, 6.6 to 7%. And for those who are on the low end, apart from these people who are, like I said, about 0.14%, for the rest of them, then they get an increment of 11% or more, like I said, going all the way up to 19.06%. And the 19.06% is for the very, very low earning pensioners who would normally have had on minimum pension for the year just ended. What this means is that, as you said, the overall indexation rate is 11%, 11%. But what we have done is to redistribute that. Now, essentially, redistribution just means that we are applying a mechanism that ensures that, or that cushions low-earning pensioners. And so what this means in real terms is that for our pensioners who are on the higher band, they get a slightly less of an increase, slightly less increase, and then those on the lower band get a much more increase, which goes up all the way to 19.06%. Basically, the law, which you just referred to, as 76, requires us to do so. Section 80 of the Act says that we must review pensions annually. And also the second reason why we do this is also to ensure that the purchasing power of pensioners is preserved.
Now, the spiritual versus the scientific, that is what it is looking like as we begin the election year at crossover services to usher in 2020. Some notable prophets prophesied victory for President Akufo-Addo, with others predicting a win for John Mahama. We start with Prophet Nigel Gazy of a Prophetic Hill Chapel, who was emphatic that former President Mahama will win with 52.1%.
Came to me and told me that the nation should bring back Kwame Dramani of the NDC. The Lord said he should bring back Kwame Dramani of the NDC. And the Lord said through Kwame Dramani of the NDC, it's going to place the nation on a good place. I saw the NDC win the next general election with 52.1%. I saw the NDC win the general election. I saw Kwame Dramani win with 52.1%. Hear me and hear me.
Now, the founder and leader of the Glorious Wave Church, Reverend Emmanuel Bedukobi, is also predicting a win for President Akufo-Addo.
Watching everything. Now, but by the way, the elections of 2020 is already done on. It's finished. They finished it. And if you check how it was done, the ruling party won. How it was done. So
that is the spiritual aspects. The Economic Intelligence Unit, in its latest report, said it expects President Akufo-Addo and the NPP to secure re-election in 2020. It further stated if the NDC can present a coherent opposition and hold the NPP to account on an unfulfilled campaign promise, particularly on infrastructure development, as well as private sector development such as job creation and industrialization, where progress has been generally slow and success patchy, the election could be closely contested. We've been speaking to some Ghanaians on what they make of these prophecies and projections. We've also been asking them whether it will influence their choice in the December polls.
For me, I don't believe in those kind of prophecies, seriously, concerning elections. Elections are won based on the manifesto the party presents and what the people believe in it. So we have a lot of countless of prophecy that a lot of pastors said NDC was going to win, whatever be the case, and it turned upside down. So for me, something relating to election prophecy, sometimes for me, I doubt, seriously, I doubt about it. But I believe in prophecies, but for election's sake, I don't think so. Anything can happen. So I don't believe in prophecy concerning elections.
I don't believe in prophecy, and I don't begrudge any prophet bringing their stance as to who will win in 2020. Each and every individual has a political affiliate, like myself. I don't strictly belong to one political party. I just listen to their manifesto and look at who is possible can deliver. Then I vote for the person.
I wasn't there when God showed the vision to them. I wasn't there. So what we can do from our side is watch also Bempa's prophecies, and then find out how accurate it is. And also watch Prophet Nigel's prophecies and find out how accurate it is. Is that anybody who has watched both of them will know that some of them connect. Some of them are hinting about this, like the terrorist attack. Nigel said we should watch from now to March. Also Bempa is saying we should not gather at public places. So it's a good thing for them. On the elections, while both of them have diverse views, that one I don't have any excuse for it. It's God who speaks to them. But one thing about prophecy is how to interpret it.
Prophecies is about revelations from God given. So when a pastor or a prophet prophesies, we take it serious. So I think it's something you have to just take it serious. It may happen that what they are saying is true. So why don't you just give the benefit of the doubt?
I believe in God, and I believe whatever happens, happens when God says. So all what they are saying, I believe, can happen, depending on God's choice. What this man is saying and what the other man is saying, you and I cannot decide unless God says yes. So that's what I can say. That, okay, they've said it, but what happens when it changes?
Whether their prophecies are going to stand or not, it is incumbent upon us to vote wise, not to think that I'm following this pastor or that pastor. So whatever he says is final. When it comes to election, it is the decision of the populace that tells. Because if you don't vote wise, you can get a good standard to live on as far as the country is concerned.
Interesting perspectives there from people on the streets of Accra. Well, let's return to our earlier story about the dissolution of the technical staff of all the national teams of Black Stars, the Black Princesses, the Black Queens, etc. We've been sampling the views of football lovers on this and listen to what they've been telling us.
It is a good decision because Pierre should have done better. Yeah, we gave him so many chances, and I think he should have done better than what he did.
It's a good decision because the reason why Kwesi Appiah was brought to the Black Stars team, I think, has not been achieved. We went to the AFCON and we couldn't perform. People thought the AFCON was an opportunity for us to win another trophy over after we've not been able to do so in many years. But he came on board and we went there and we performed, in my opinion, abysmally. And the objective why he was brought was not achieved. And so for any good country, we bring you to bring results. And so if you're not achieving that, I think you just have to show you the exit.
As like he changes, and when he's on the field, when he's coaching, he will qualify the team all right. But when you go to tournament, you don't have a tournament strategy.
I think, it's a good decision. Because Kwesi Appiah, he has been selfish with the players, selection of the players. I think some of them, the time that you have to let them come to bench, he will still allow them to play. Some like Asamoah Gyan, I think it wasn't fair with Asamoah Gyan, with the captainship and all these things. I think it wasn't fair with Asamoah Gyan and other players. So I think it's a good decision. And he hasn't tried, because we brought him in so that we can win the cup. But at the end of it, we didn't see anything.
The next coach should be able to put up a team that can win games, that can be good at penalties. Penalties is one of our weaknesses as Ghanaian team, and they should be able to fix those little hitches in the team.
If at this very moment of Ghana football, where we are having issues in the Ghana football, we are considering foreign coaches, I think it will be in the right direction at the moment.
You're watching News Today with me, Komla Adum, here on JoyNews. We're taking a quick break. We'll return with more stories. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, tension is mounting in Taha, a community in the Sanyerigu municipality in the northern region, over chieftaincy title of the area. Some youth have barricaded the road leading to the Taha community, burning tires. A youth chief, Boglana Yiplena, has been speaking to JoyNews. It's Martina Bugri, who joins me on the phone with some on this. Martina, tell us about the tension and what the chief has been telling you. Hello, Martina. Hello, Martina. I'm afraid we are still working the telephone line to get to speak to my colleague Martina Bugri. The story is about some mounting tension in a community called Taha, where the youth have barricaded roads, and it is basically over a chieftaincy matter. I'm sure if we're able to get the telephone lines worked and get Martina on the line, she can tell us about what a youth chief there, Boglana Yiplena, has been telling her during their interactions. Hello, Martina. Hello, Martina. We'll get back to Martina Bugri once we're able to establish contacts for that story. But now, there are a group of young people using their voices and skill on the instrument to make music that uplifts the spirit and comforts the soul. With the youngest members aged 5, the 16th Angelic Choir and Orchestra in the Western Region city of Takrady is taking choral and classical music to unimaginable levels. They're believed to be the best group, harnessing the potentials of young people in the oil city, making stars out of them. Before we bring you that story, let's go back to Martina Bugri, who joins us now. Martina, you've been speaking to the youth chief of the area following the tension that's been mounting there. What has he been telling you? I'm afraid we've lost Martina Bugri on the line. The telephone lines have not been friendly to us. But on the story about the youth choir and the orchestra in the oil city of Takrady, my colleague Mapitso Sebidi and I sat through one of their concerts to mark the Christmas festivities. At age 5, I was probably too young to even figure out how not to put my right shoe on my left leg.
I was learning how to string my sentences together. I don't even remember.
Well, for 5- and 6-year-olds who are members of a Takrady-based 16th Angelic Choir and Orchestra, it is an opportunity to begin a career in music right from the ground up.
Kwesi Esil Ahinkra is music director and conductor.
We have from 6 upwards, so you can imagine we have the teens, 12, 18, but the youngest in the we have the children's choir. Yeah, the youngest will be around 8 years, and the elders will be around like 16. Yeah.
Formed in August 2013, the interdenominational group has taken on the challenge to nurture young talents in classical and choral music.
The orchestra, made up of members between 5 and 15 years, coupled with the youth and adult choirs, have held over 15 concerts since they were formed.
My colleague Martina Bugri now joins me on the line with updates on that tension that is mounting in the Taha community, where a youth chief, Boglana Yiplena, has been speaking to her about the cause of this tension. Martina, what has he been telling you?
What is happening right now is there's a lot of confusion in the community. This morning, the Yiplena went to the Nantona, who was recently enskined the chief of Nantong by the Yana Abubakari Muhammad II. He went for cola, but someone else had also gone to the Nantong Gulama for cola, and it means that they are claiming he to act as chief. So now that they have 2 people who have gone for cola, the youth in the area are saying that it's going to create confusion in the area because they will have 2 people who are claiming the chieftaincy title, and that means that they will have divided allegiance, which will create confusion in the community. And so they are saying that I spoke to one Boglana Yipela. He says that they will not allow the one who has just gone for the cola this morning to come into the community. And he says that they will resist any attempt to allow them into the community. But whilst we were speaking to them by the roadside in the the entrance of the community. The Yiptelgu family who had gone for the cola used a bypass into the community, and so they had entered the community at the blind side of the youth. We spoke to them too, and they are saying that they were told this morning that the youth in the area said they would attack them. They would not attack, but if they attack, they would defend themselves. As we speak now, the police arrived a while ago, and the place is quiet as we speak.
Martina Bugri, keep following this story for us. We will come back to you as and when there are any developments on that. Well, coming up in business, NIT reviews method of compelling employers to pay workers' contributions. We have that coming up after the break. Please stay with us.